Howdy, Ags. AP, Corey, from the tailgate, talking Aggie football all the time. Brought to you by Ross Distributing, assisting Aggies with all their drilling needs. Aggie owned and operated. Don't forget to send us some commentary on the YouTube page or to agstailgate@gmail.com or on the Facebook, because we need something to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, Corey. Aggies 3-4, 1-3 in the conference, lost 3 in a row, but they're playing at home. 2-1 at home this year.
Against two.
They get to go face. They face number 15 Ole Miss at Kyle Field at 6:30 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get into this matchup.
Right.
Just a minute.
All right.
But first, let's put a little time to the fans.
Let's do it. Let's hear it.
Let's talk about it. Some comments. Here we go.
I'm ready.
Par.
Yeah.
Par. I think he likes his golf game. He wants to know if Jimbo can go to a coaching clinic with maybe Dabo, Saban, Kelly.
Right. Probably need to.
Old dog, new tricks.
Well, those old dogs right there, they're more CEOs. You know what I'm saying? They're CEOs. They're more letting offensive coordinators handle their positions and
defensive coordinators handle their positions.
Exactly. So it's not working for many of them. Now look at them.
They're all pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'd say this: it wouldn't matter, right? Because he's already been to Saban's coaching clinic. He coached with him for years.
Yeah.
He's probably spent some time with Dabo at some point. They used to be in the same conference, whatever. I don't think it matters, right? Because Jimbo obviously has the idea that his way is the only way, so it ain't gonna change anything.
Yeah,
I don't care how many.
We're gonna still be having the same conversations.
Yeah. Ben Capetillo, new subscriber, by the way.
Thank you, Ben.
He says he's gonna contribute $20, just like we did.
That's
towards the Jimbo buyout.
Hey,
now we're at 60. We're at 60.
We're at 60. That's right.
I can't really do the math.
The
but
GoFundMe
90
page?
million minus 60, whatever that
We'll
is.
start a GoFundMe page.
I think we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
He also says that we've been seeing the same thing since the first game of last year, right? Same issues offensively, whatever. It's all been there. It's not like this is something new. Remember Colorado?
Yep, Colorado.
And he's 100% correct. So doesn't really make a difference.
Yep.
Chris Record says, hey, Jim belittles his young quarterbacks all the time. He did it to Connor, and he doesn't think it's very helpful. Look, we talked about it last time, right? I mean, it's crazy that this team is always on edge. And Chris, thank you for the comment. Always on edge, because every time they come off the field, there's head coach, probably catching him right there, berating one of his players, right? Like just screaming at one of the quarterbacks or whoever's coming off the field. These guys are constantly under this pressure to explain and perform and do everything else. They can't just play.
Well, Jimbo's the same way, though. He's feeling the pressure. He's starting to feel the pressure. He felt it in Florida State before he came here. He's feeling it now here.
Yeah.
It's just, and that's what it does. When people feel pressure, they want to put the blame on somebody else. See, look what I'm doing. I'm coaching these guys up. He says he's coaching them up, but is he? He's just saying how bad you are. Yeah. He's not telling you stuff to help you get better. He's saying,
we always had a theory when we were coaching. Look, he can berate him and yell at him all day during the week. Game day, you got to pick him up, right?
Yeah.
That was always our thing. But here's the other part. I also think that it's partially because of the fact that that's his system, his baby, his thing, right?
Yeah.
And so when he sees something, he wants to go and yell it and say, if he was the CEO with an offensive coordinator doing his thing and a defensive coordinator doing his thing, he probably would be a lot better at getting players off the field, picking them up when they need to. Yeah, you bitch them out from time to time when you have 17 false starts or whatever it was.
It was a lot.
But
probably saw a couple already.
But at the same time, part of the time, because it's not your system, it's not your thing, you're not there every time they come off the field to just yell at them, right?
Right. That's offensive coordinator's job. That's a coordinator's job.
That is. Somebody's got to love on the kids.
Yeah.
Not in the Penn State kind of way, though. Asian Persuasion says Haynes would be a good fit at K-State. And James Franklin would be a nice fit at A&M. Right now, the program's cursed, too much talent, but issues with youth, injuries, and coaching. Scheme doesn't fit our players.
I'm not a big James Franklin fan. I mean, I don't like what he's done at Penn State. What has he done? Has he done much?
Yeah, I'm sort of on the boat with that.
I don't think he's done a whole lot.
It seems like another overpaid Jimbo.
I mean, he's recruited well everywhere he's gone. I think he's recruited well, but he hasn't really. Yeah, same thing as Jimbo. He's recruited, but not the talent hasn't met the expectations.
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan. As far as Haynes King, I think he'd be a good fit here under a different coordinator.
I mean, Haynes isn't my first option, but you've liked him. I haven't liked him the whole time, but I don't like his throwing. I don't like his motion. Yeah. There's a lot about it. I have
long motion,
and I haven't seen the speed. They talk about the speed he has.
I'd make him a lot more confident and comfortable. So
if he was on the track, he might be fast on the track. But he gets on the football field, I don't know what happens, but it seems like it takes him a while to get going.
True. And I think he can have success in a lot of different places, by the way.
Yeah, probably.
Tommy Guns, he believes, I think you are right.
Probably.
Which, that'd be a first.
Yeah.
So, Jimbo was the same at FSU, constantly does less with more.
Yeah,
his point.
Does it all the time.
I found it really interesting and disagreed with him from the jump because he said you were right, which...
it surprised me a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe Tronkel said, unfortunately, our program is stuck in the mud, believes the issue will be whether great recruits will stick around after this.
A lot of the problems we put at A&M are on ourselves.
Yeah.
Expectations are... We got ranked 6th before we did anything. Before we did a damn thing. Our offensive line wasn't proven. They proved to be shitty. Our quarterback play has not been great because of the offensive line.
Yeah.
The freshmen have been good. They showed moments. But, I mean, I'm not making an excuse here. I'm telling facts. It's what it is. We shouldn't have put the team up on this pedestal.
I want to respond.
If we came in as like a crappy team this year and everybody thought we sucked and we beat Miami...
under no circumstances was this team going to be expected to lose to the teams that they have, including South Carolina.
Yeah.
Right behind us. And that
about Alabama also?
Well, we lost to Alabama. We lost to Mississippi State. Not just lost to them, but got whooped. And so here's my point.
Yeah.
App State, under no circumstances, yes, look, you're absolutely right. Should they have been ranked number 6 coming into the season? No, they weren't proven yet. However, this program has some of the best facilities in the country, yes or no?
They do.
This program has
spent a lot of money on
some of the best fans in the country.
Oh, absolutely. Fans, yeah.
This program has one of the best atmospheres in the country to go watch a game at. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. The players are getting paid as much as anybody in the country, right?
More, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The coaches are getting paid more than anybody in the country, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
you're saying that, but so you're saying our expectations should be number 6 right now.
They should be high.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know they should have been number 6 coming into the season, but they definitely should have been top 15. And at the end of the day, the performance doesn't match the talent. The performance doesn't match everything that's gone into the program. All the resources that Jimbo has, he's not showing results for that, right?
Yeah.
And so to me, there is a level of should have we been 6? No. Should have been 15? Yes, by far. I think at 15 is more or less where we should have been.
I'm thinking, maybe 75, 80. That's where we're at. I mean,
that is about where we're at.
Our offense is at like 110. Our defense, as good as they've been, they're still not. They're giving up big plays here in their runs, and they've been not. I
talked about it before the season, right?
20-20.
I talked about it before the season. We lost 4 starting defensive linemen.
Exactly.
We were going to take a step back up front.
I don't think we've taken a bigger step back up front as we have in other areas. Coaching is a huge one.
A
3-man front is not working, and we'll get more into that later on. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's just hope we don't see much of it this week. Sliced Bread says we should be stomping every unranked to play. Believe the AD should hire an OC, or we're going to be concerned about the portal. First things first. Thank you, Sliced Bread, for the comment. But here's my thing.
Yeah.
The AD cannot hire an OC, right? I mean, it's not going to do you any good.
No.
You can't. You can't take the power away from Jimbo to control the team. So even if you hire an OC, that doesn't mean Jimbo's not going to make the calls, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, Jimbo has to make the change and give up the power, or they need to fire.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that yet.
No, I don't guess they can. They I read the hot seat stuff from ESPN because Jimbo's name wasn't even on there. Like,
not when they owe you $90 million.
Exactly. I mean, his name wasn't on it. It was all these other coaches around the country. No.
By the way, the AD might be the one that should get fired for having given them the extension.
I was thinking the same thing. When he brought that up, I was thinking maybe the AD's job's on the line. Maybe he'd be easier to get rid of, put the blame on him. Somebody's got to take the fall. And it's not going to be Jimbo.
It's not going to be Jimbo. Not this year.
Right now, it looks like it's a couple of freshmen or something. I don't know.
Maybe a couple of freshmen.
Yeah.
Cody Sheriff feels bad for the players. Crazy good talent. They play hard, but they're thinking so hard it negates the talent.
We don't put them in situations that are positive.
Right.
We keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result, and it's insanity. We're not getting it. It's over
and no changes, nothing adjusted by the coaching staff, no simplifications, nothing, right?
We don't do halftime adjustments. We just come out. Jimbo said something at the halftime. We got to run the ball. We got to get there and run the ball.
And then follows it up with 7 straight passes.
Yes, just throws the damn ball all over the place.
Look, and we've talked about this before, right? He's a former quarterback, right? He wants to throw the football. He thinks all these great passing plays are the way to go, right? Because that's how the way his mind thinks. He runs the ball because he has to. Because he has to.
He needs to win the damn games. Quit worrying about throwing the ball or running. Do your strengths. Do what's
a couple of Facebook comments.
Yeah, go here.
Herman Mach Jr. Wants to give them a break. Them, I guess, the team. They had a slow start and some injuries. And look.
It's not our job to give them a break.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Every team has injuries.
Every team has injuries. Every team is, there's youth and all these things, and I understand that. And by the way, look, I'm a big supporter of this program. Huge supporter of this program.
Yeah.
Big time fan. We got the Aggie
gear everywhere. We wear it.
Right? We live it. We're here in town. Yeah. We love these folks.
Exactly.
And we support the players big time, right?
Huge.
I think all we've said is how talented this team is.
Right.
But at the same time, Jimbo's here. He's here. He's getting paid. His job is to go win ball games.
What's the guy's name you're talking about?
We need
this guy on Facebook? What's his name?
Herman Mach.
Herman. Accountability. I'm not sure what kind of job you have if you're held accountable for things. Jimbo, that's all we want him to do is hold himself accountable. Take some responsibility and saying, hey, this is my fault. I need to make a change in myself. Yeah, the team, once he makes that change in himself, you'll see changes in the team. He's not doing that right now. People tell him you need to get an offensive coordinator. He's not hearing that. You got to run the ball with A-Chain, your best player, more. He's not hearing that. You got to fix the offensive line because teams are running stunts like Leo's told you over and over, and they can't stop it. You got to do that. He's not hearing. That's what I'm telling you. We're not trying to bash the team so much. We're bashing Jimbo. Let's get the facts straight. That's what we're doing.
And we're just telling the story, right?
Yeah.
We're just telling the story. He's doing what he's doing. We're just telling the story.
If he's making $90-something million, he better have his big boy pants on to be able to take our little crap that we're giving him.
That's right. Little crap. Gary Rivera says, where's Aggie football headed this year? Nowhere. Next year, again.
Well, the Bulls don't look good right now. I'll tell you that much.
Nowhere this
year. Gary, I agree with you. I mean, it's sad to say. We were on the high horse. We took the over in the win column. We thought they'd win at least 9 games. Shit, we'll be lucky to win 6.
Hey, Dolores Pearson made a bed. Now we have to lie in it. Too much, too long for that contract.
Man, it's just crazy. I mean, if we go back and watch this show from last year, we were high on Jimbo after the Alabama. Oh, man, he's our guy. Yeah, Jimbo, let's do it.
I don't think I've ever been high on Jimbo as a play caller.
Well, maybe not as a play caller. But, I mean, just saying as a recruiter, he's done some good things.
Yes.
And but being the CEO of our football team has not done a good job.
It's because he's not the CEO. He's only the CEO of the offense.
Well, his title is CEO, as head coach.
He's not. And once again, to reiterate, that extension's the killer, right? Mm-hmm. If we were still on the original 10-year, $75 million contract, I mean, I think there'd be a hot seat. He'd be 5 years in, halfway through. Look, we could fire him probably over 30.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would be. I mean, these Aggie fans and donors, they got some deep pockets. I'd be surprised they don't. Jimbo, let's cut it even.
I'm about to say this: if he loses to UMass, I think we'll let him go.
I got a little short, angry friend I might send over to his house and have him knock on the door and tell him trick or treat.
He's real angry. Dennis Baker says Jimbo doesn't care. He got paid.
That's what. I
don't know if that's true.
I don't think
to
it's
be
true.
fair, I don't think that's true. I think he does care, and I think he cares because he really cares about his image, right? I think he's a guy that's concerned. But he also hurts with the losses, and you see him now. He just doesn't have an answer, man. He's lost.
Yeah.
He's lost.
He needs to change the environment a little bit. I don't know what that includes, if it needs to, how he's going to shake it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's starting to shake up already. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, later.
Paul Vaughn thinks it's easy to be an armchair quarterback. I tell him,
it is.
not a chance.
No,
man.
it's easy. I'm an armchair quarterback. I mean,
He says, no quarterback, no offensive lineman. Going to be a tough year. Keep fighting and learning. Look, it ain't easy.
want to be a tough year? It's already been a tough year.
It's already been.
Yeah.
But, hey, look, what we do, not easy, man. I know Pippen ain't easy.
We make it look easy.
We make it look easy.
That's about it.
That's right. You know I do.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Corey, let's hit on Ole Miss, man. So,
Do it.
Ole Miss 7-1, first loss coming last week to LSU. They lost. It was a pretty good beatdown, 45-20.
Second half. All second half.
Yeah, they were up.
20,
right?
17-3?
Yeah. So they were up substantially, and then it was up. From there, it was over.
I watched that game live right in that chair. Right
yeah.
The seats.
They haven't played a very tough schedule so far, other than they beat Kentucky.
It's a good Kentucky team.
On the last play of the game, one of the last plays of the game, they strip sacked on Levis. Right? So good win there.
Yeah.
And then the LSU game obviously was a big time matchup, and they got their butts whooped. But other than that, you're talking Vandy, Auburn, Tulsa, Georgia Tech, Central Arkansas, Troy, right? Mm-hmm. So not exactly death row of a schedule on top of that. But they do have a good win against Kentucky.
Right.
Starting with the Ole Miss offense, right? They're probably about close to 50-50 pass run. They set everything up with the running game, right?
Well, you say that, but they were run heavy beginning of the season. They've been more passing with Dart recently, if you watch their games. I've watched a few of them. They were run. Vanderbilt ran. Finally got it going in the second half. That game was a close game. They were losing or just barely beating Vandy in the first half. But go ahead.
Well, it seems like in every game they come out fast and then let people get back into the game at some point, right? They don't sustain that level of productivity throughout the game.
The one thing that has impressed me with Ole Miss on both sides of the ball, real quick, I'm not talking offense, just speed. Yeah. Team speed, Lane has a way of getting fast guys. They look.
I think they just look fast.
Maybe they do.
Because of the fact that it's simple, right? I mean, the system is not a complex deal.
They do look fast.
They just play fast.
Yeah.
So offensively, look, they're about 50-50 run pass overall.
Right.
Now, like you said, LSU is probably the other way because they got so far behind. They were throwing the football a lot more.
Right.
But they're going to use a lot of motions and misdirections in the running game. They want to get your eyes moving away from what's going on, right?
Random onside kicks. You never know when you're going to get one.
And then they use the running game to set up their passing game. Lots of RPOs, lots of play action.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
You don't do that.
So this offense starts with those running backs. And look, Zach Evans has got a ton of pub this year with what he's done so far. He's not even their best running back.
That's what I say.
They've got a little freshman over there. I say little. Quinshawn Judkins.
Yeah.
Quinshawn Judkins, who leads the team in rushing. Now, mind you, Evans didn't play against LSU, or at least he didn't play much if he did play, with an injury. And he's questionable even for our game this on Saturday.
Yeah.
But this Judkins kid, as a freshman, I mean, he is killing it right now. The dude leads that team in rushing, and he is the center point of that attack because all the passing game comes off of the running game, right?
Yeah.
So what do? Some motion, some misdirection, some different things, two back stuff, a guy coming around, all to take the eyes off of the running back and let him go down the field and do some things. Now, your boy, the quarterback, Dart, also a decent runner. So he's their third leading rusher. He's got over 300 yards. He gets a bit of the action. And then how do they complement that? They complement it with two big guys on the outside. And those guys can both make some pretty good plays. Mingo and Heath.
Yeah.
Both 6'2", 6'3" guys, 220-pound type guys.
About my size.
Yeah, so Mingo, big play guy over the top, can get downfield deep.
Yeah.
Heath, more of the possession type guy. But it's like they mesh it all together. You know what I mean?
They make it work. They make it simple. Like you said, I mean, it's probably 20 plays in Lane's playbook, but he runs them all the same, just with little
wrinkles.
Yeah, little wrinkle. I mean, RPO, you can do a lot with that. But he runs the ball effectively so he can set up the pass. We don't run the ball effectively. and everybody knows we're going to pass the ball either way. So
And
it's not really an RPO.
right?
Yeah.
He pairs.
Yeah.
Likes the little bubble screen stuff. And other things to get the ball out of Dart's hands pretty quickly, you know,
in space,
and get guys in space. He is one of those guys though. His offense is so simple, and it's all about just getting plays based off of what that defense gives you, whether that's RPO, play action, whatever. But he's going to continue to do the things he does.
And he's good at that. Lane is good at that. And look what he did at Alabama. I think he taught not Jimbo, but Nick Saban a lot over there. Nick's gone with it. His offense has been moving the ball ever since.
So, as the Aggie team, what do you do? What do you do to against this offense? What does the defense have to do? What are the big things?
What are we going to do, or what do we need to do?
All right. What do they need to do to be successful?
Let's key in on the run first. Let's make them, even though it's a 50-50, you said split, passing, running, let's key in on the run. I trust our secondary enough to slow down the receivers and man. I mean, we definitely don't need to do a 3-man line. I say at least 4 guys up front. Let's bring pressure. 5-man. Bring the pressure. I mean, I love that line I saw last week was Turner on the end, Jackson, Nolan, and Diggs. I love that line. It had
use rakes.
Yeah, I mean, it had speed, it had size in the middle,
Stewart,
and it should have freed up the linebackers.
Overton.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of stuff. I mean,
but you're right. I mean,
the 3-man line is just asking for a disaster. We're going to get our ass kicked if we lose a 3-man line.
If Durkin comes out in a 3-man line, we're going to lose.
I'll go firing myself in the field.
We're going to lose the ball game.
No,
Here, our defense is going to get killed by that running game.
You get fired.
So, 100%. You've got to be stout against the run. That's got to be your number one focus. Right. Your linebackers have to be 100% focused on the tailbacks. None of this. Don't worry about the motions. Don't worry about the misdirection. Your goal is to tackle the tailback. That's the focus for the linebackers.
Yep.
Avoid the distractions of the motions. Avoid the distractions of the misdirections, right?
Yep.
Stay with the 4-man, stop the run.
Get downhill and make some plays in the backfield. It'll screw up this whole system
of
lanes. I'm telling you. I mean, you get them in 3rd and long, I think it's going to see a different ballgame.
And then the second part is the pressure, right? Because at the end of the day, Dart's been really good when he's got time, when he's sitting there and he can use the RPOs to open things up, get rid of the ball quickly, and he's in rhythm. He's been really good. He's been able to get the ball out to his receivers accurately with good pace and everything else.
Right. Under
Pressure, he's a different quarterback. And I know that, hey, look, you can say that about any quarterback, right?
Yeah.
But he specifically, the 2 levels are so far apart.
Right.
So if you can get pressure on him, and like you said, let those DBs play a little bit, man up against those receivers, do what they got to do there, and bring some pressure to get Dart uncomfortable, he will turn the ball over.
Think so?
I think that sounds oversimplified, but I like it because it is overly simplified.
It sounds reasonable, and we don't do reason very well here right now.
All right, so the Ole Miss D. So they're basically running a 3-2-6. Durkin's old defense, right, that he was running here earlier in the season. And those guys are going to sit in there, and they're going to run their 3-man line. They're going to have everybody else behind that sitting in a nice soft zone, everybody with eyes in the backfield looking to see what's happening. If it's a run, they trigger. If it's a pass, they sit in their zone and go about their business, right?
Right.
From time to time, if they get you in a 3rd and long or a passing situation, which for Jimbo is basically every down, they'll start bringing some of those blitzes and different things that they like to do, some exotic stuff. Use the safeties, use the linebackers.
And that's when that 3-2-6 will work, is when you have a secondary that's keeping an eye on the backfield and you're not worried. What would they have to be worried about with us?
And so the thing that gets me is, look, they have been able to create some pressure, right? They've got 20 some odd sacks on the year, 27 or something along those lines, maybe 23. And they do it from a bunch of different guys because they bring their safeties, they bring their linebackers, so they are able to generate some pressures at times on passing, for sure passing.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not aggressive, right? Overall, as a defense, they're not necessarily all that aggressive. The problem is that Jimbo has had a problem with this 3-man line defense. He cannot, because they don't man up. So, for example, when we knew we were playing a 3-man line, we'd add a play that's basically a sort of a lead. It's a man blocking scheme for the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Center man's up on the nose tackle, right? The two guards can kick out on those defensive ends.
Mm-hmm.
Tackles would basically set and come up to the linebackers.
Gotcha.
Boom, 5-on-5, and whether it's tailback, huge holes, right?
Yeah.
But this would be our play. And with their defense, as you look at it, because they've always got their eyes in the backfield, if you think about what you need to do, you need to have the misdirection, right? Mm-hmm. Because that slows them down. They're looking. That's their purpose. You need to have the play action. You need to have the draws, things that show them something different than what is coming, right? Because what does the defender do when he sees? Oh, he sees pass action. Okay, now he's dropping into his little zone. If he sees run action, what's he doing?
Straight attack.
Straight attack.
Yeah.
Right? That's their system. They're going to trust those eyes. Now, you have to give them something false to look at, right? You have to give them something false to look at. If that's a double move with a little pump action, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Guys you can catch some guys deep, right?
Right.
Whether that's some play action off of the run, right?
Right.
Sell it hard. Let those guys come up and hit them over the middle, right? Or show pass and then draw.
Have we done that at all this year?
No.
I didn't think
not,
we did
not once.
That's on our playbook.
And so those are some different things. But then I also think because of the struggles that our offensive line is having, you got to get some quick and quarterback, just get them comfortable. Quick, easy throws for those guys.
Who is the quarterback this week?
We don't know.
That's good. I like that. Good. I like that. Y'all heard that here live. Y'all heard that here live this week.
It's going to be Connor.
There it is. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yeah, that was the best. That's the best you've ever done. Is a breaking news. That was hilarious.
What is it? From my lips to God's ears?
Yeah. I mean, hey, he got in the game.
He did. So, but yeah, give him some easy throws, whoever the quarterback is.
Right.
A couple of little bubble screens, some tailback screens, maybe some slants. Just no hesitation, no read. Get the ball out of your hand right now. Something quick, right?
Right.
Swing pass to the tailback. Whatever it is.
We just don't do that. It just doesn't look comfortable in our system. The way we run any play, you're just waiting for disaster to happen.
Yeah, these should be no read whatsoever. Go get the ball out there and let those guys play a little bit.
And this middle screens we ran last week, it looked. I mean, at the result was good.
Yeah,
but just everything about it just looked like shit. What's happening?
The one thing that he has started to do that has helped, I think, are the boots. Right, so he has done some boot action, getting the quarterback out from behind that offensive line. And giving them some sort of easy reads on the sideline. Right. Continue to do that. I think that's a good part of the playbook, right? And then you've got to run the football. And if that means you put
two tight ends, you got to stay committed
two backs,
yeah,
and go pound the football, I think let's
start the game like that. We start the game like that, I think it'll throw Ole Miss way off.
Yeah, because now they've got to do something to get out of that three-man front, right?
Give A-Chain the ball, lead the game, or give it to Moss or Daniels. I mean, give it to one of these guys, right?
Yeah, give it to Crown.
Give it a change of pace, right?
Right.
Change it up. Let's get the
tight end. LJ Johnson, but I think LJ's gone.
Yeah, it could be.
So, and here's my other thing. Look, this game we came out and it was 17-0 before you even looked up, right? And here's my problem. Every coach on the planet scripts their first 10, their first 12, their first 15.
Not every.
Except for apparently Jimbo.
There you go.
Because from play one, you've got Haynes out there. You're talking to the line. There's a crowd roaring.
Nobody can hear him.
And why are we changing plays on play one?
Well, the center wasn't. He was ready to go whenever he said something. He's like, all right.
Hey, center, gotcha. Yeah, I heard you, buddy. Here it goes. And so people want to blame the center on this, but why are we working in a system where the crowd is going to stop us from being successful? We have eight.
That was false starts?
False starts.
I didn't know if it was that many, but damn.
That
should be a lot better. That should be a lot better.
That shouldn't be a problem at home.
God, that's 8 times 5. That's 40 yards right there. And our offense only doesn't get that many.
Like 100, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So to me, script those first 12 plays, 10 plays. Let's give it 10 because maybe he can't do that, right?
Maybe 5.
Let's give it 10. But here's my thing. 10 plays. And you're going to practice those every day this week. All 10 of those in that order.
Yeah.
And so now there's no questions. Everybody feels comfortable about these plays. You know exactly what you're doing. You know, like this is the don't go audible, no calls, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they show. You just get up there.
Don't matter what they show. Pick 10 plays that you absolutely want to run and go. And run them.
What does Jimbo say? Do it till you get it right, and then do it till they can't get it wrong?
Right.
I haven't seen that yet.
No. We haven't seen it to where they get it right.
No.
So my point is, give them and get some comfort out of those players where they're not thinking anymore. These are the 10 plays. And I don't care whether it's whatever plays you want to pick.
Yeah.
But give them those 10 plays. They've seen them 30 times this week in practice, and they're just going to go out there and run them without thinking. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get them an easy rhythm. Nice and easy. That's what I think this team needs to do on offense to win this ball game.
All right.
Now let's talk about sort of what we think. First of all, how about offensive player of the game? Who's going to be the offensive player of the game?
I'm waiting for A-Changes to break out and have a – I mean, he's had a solid game, don't get me wrong, but I want to see that huge run, break a 70, 80-yarder, get the crowd into it, get the defense pumped. I'm talking big play. I'm not talking, a 20, 30-yard. Right. I want to see those runs we saw last year that we've seen him do in the past. Kickoff return for a touchdown, something.
Drop a 90, huh?
Yeah, just get it. Let's get going. Let's start off fast. I'm just tired of this getting down 10, 17, whatever.
Somebody's got to give him a chance, right?
Sorry, who's that?
All right, so you're going to go with A-Chain.
Well, yeah.
I'll say this. I think if A-Chain's our offensive player of the game on one of those performances, I think we win this game. How about that?
Yeah.
But I don't think A-Chain's going to be an offensive player of the game. So I'm going to go green.
All right.
I'm going to go green.
Good. Yeah, I got you.
I expect Jimbo to be his typical self and try to throw the ball 40 times while we run it 20, right?
Yeah.
And I'm excited about what Green's done from week to week to week to week. And I hope that this week he gets a lot of participation on that.
Yeah.
Defensive player of the game.
Well, they're going to run the ball a lot. I'll tell you who surprised me last week. I thought he played good was White. I enjoyed what he did. He's going to be all over the field again, I think. If they're going to be doing all the eye candy, I like White.
Yeah, White's a good one. Number one, I wonder if AJ's back.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard if he's back yet. If he's back, I'm going to go AJ. You know what I'm going to go AJ? Number one, he's the best player on the field.
Yeah, he is.
Number two, he's going to have to be highly involved in the run game, stopping the run game, right?
They all are.
And so
Bryce Anderson, that's a guy when you get on the field for this.
If he gets on the field, I think he's got a possibility to be your player of the game.
But whose spot does he take?
AJ's. Now,
wait, hold on a second. So you're just saying, so if AJ's healthy, how does Bryce get on the field?
In for Damani or some plays for.
I gotta say, I've been a little disappointed with Damani this year. He hasn't been what we saw in practice. All cut up and
once
doing
again,
well. He looked like
he's still playing slow, right? He's playing too much up here, not enough just play.
Yeah.
All right, look. Let's put score prediction here. The line opened at what, 2.5?
Yeah, it's gone down to 1.5.
And it's down to 1.5.
The over/under opened at
55.
It's down to 54.5.
It's at it's 50, so
that's what I saw.
So now the money apparently is coming in on the Aggies. People are betting the Aggies.
The Bear from ESPN picked the Aggies
to cover.
I mean, why don't you just pick them to win? 1.5?
Yeah.
I'll take the Aggies in the 1.5. No, you just pick whoever that is to win.
All right. So who you pick?
I hate picking against the Aggies, but I really like Ole Miss this week. I mean, Aggies have not shown me anything last week. Killed me. The fans will be better. We just lost some players. I mean, losing Marshall, Harris. It didn't sound like much, but it's just an attitude I think that you get. Our offensive line is really beat up.
Look, we didn't spend a lot of time on it, but yeah, the big, the incident this early, in the locker room after the game.
Yeah,
the guys were,
that's just that's kids.
Just kids being kids, right?
Yeah.
And rebelling in a situation where things aren't going.
They're not happy, and
they're not happy. They hate to lose it.
Yeah.
And look, Harris and Marshall both the second time around, so that's harder and harder.
Yeah.
Discipline those guys and try to keep them around. They're likely transferring, right?
Yeah.
They're likely going to transfer. But I think because it's just a dumb mistake, right?
Yeah.
It's just youth being youth. freshmen, kids, whatever, however you want to say it. It's just young guys being young guys and frustrated. We've been there. We've done a lot of dumbass shit when we were 18, 19.
But no, missing a lot of players. I mean, the offensive line's already sucks.
Yeah.
And I don't think Foster's done for the season or what?
Foster, Aggie,
Moko,
and Moko. We knew Moko most likely.
But I mean,
Aggie and Foster as of this past week. Yeah.
And that's what makes me nervous. I mean, I haven't seen anything from this team, and a team that can put points on the board like Ole Miss. We can't get into a fight going back and forth on the scoreboard. They only scored 20 against LSU, and that was in the first half. If they score 20 on us, we're going to have a hard time scoring 21, 24.
And that's my thing. And I hate losing those guys up front.
I do too.
I do too. I still think that we may have as good a combination as we had all year playing because of it, right? Yeah. Because we've got Zune back. I thought Cam Dewberry played pretty well this past week. I think it's good for him to stay on the field. I think Wyckoff and Foster are basically interchangeable for the most part. And then you still got Robinson and Fothery out there.
Yeah.
Those guys have to come together, of course, and play better. The system has to be simpler so that they aren't constantly thinking.
Right.
It should be easy peasy at this point, man. We're just learning. We're passing it off. We're doing the different things.
But Lane's watching the same stuff we're watching. He'll make adjustments, and that's what makes me nervous.
All right. So
what's your score?
What's your score prediction?
I think Ole Miss is going to hit, just because the field position won't be able to move the ball. I think they'll get close to 30. I think we'll get 30-23.
What I tell you earlier. How many do we have to score to win?
24.
If we score 24, we win. I don't think we can score 24. That's my problem.
I don't think so either.
So I think it's probably a close game, but I'm going to go 21-17 Ole Miss.
Now, Lane is his own enemy sometimes. He overthinks things, and he'll go for it on fourth down.
He won't kick those field goals. Right?
Yeah,
he won't take the points.
Yeah, 30 might be a dumbass call on him. It might be 28-23, but I think they're going to score enough touchdowns to our inept offense that we can't score. Our defense might have to really step up and make plays. That's
what gets me. And what can turn the game obviously is a turnover for a touchdown or something like that. But based on our offense, I don't think we can score 24. I don't think we can win without scoring 24.
And I don't understand the Bear and these people putting money on the Aggies. What are they seeing that we're not? What do they know? They just think it's the home field advantage.
The same thing we know.
That we have
home field. That we have talent. At playing at home, where we've always been a much better team. And that
we played 7 freaking games this year.
We lost to Ags Tailgate.
But we played 7 games. In those 7 games, where has our offense showed you that we're capable of scoring so many points to being a team that can score?
They haven't, and that's my problem with it. Look,
last week was our best chance, I think.
All for that, obviously I'm rooting for the Aggies. And
yeah, I am too.
I'm hoping they win, and trust me, I'll be yelling like crazy the whole game for them to win. I just don't see. I can't tell the people watching that I think they're going to win because they're not. I don't
want to lie to these people either. I don't want to.
I ain't lying. All right, so we think Ole Miss is going to cover. Is what we're saying.
I think Ole Miss is going to win and probably cover and take the under. It looks like
the under. Yeah. SEC!
Go.
SEC!
Do
it. SEC! That's right, baby. All right, let's take a look at some of the other games around the SEC here, buddy.
Yep.
Arkansas is -3.5 at Auburn, over under 62.
I'll tell you, Auburn showed me some stuff. Was that last week they were playing and they came back in the game? I think they covered. Who was that against?
Pretty good running game, by the way.
I can't remember who they're playing right off the top of my tongue, but I still like Arkansas.
Yeah, I like Arkansas. I like Arkansas to cover.
Yeah.
The things that Auburn are going to continue to deteriorate as the season goes along, just with everybody knowing that coach is going to be out of here. I imagine his attitude's even going to change some, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Arkansas. They've got to start fighting to try to get, back to respectability this year, right? That team, currently there's 3 teams tied at the top of the SEC West. It's Alabama, it's LSU, and Ole Miss.
Oh, LSU. Who would imagine?
Who'd have thought,
wow.
Right?
I picked that one wrong.
The rest of us are all way down here, including Arkansas.
We're way down.
Including Arkansas.
Well, they lost to us.
They lost to us.
They got us up.
So I think their expectations are a lot higher. He has to have buy-in too, right?
I'll tell you what Arkansas should do. They should call A&M and see if they'll do a coach swap. I think that'd be fair. I'd love that.
Not for us.
I think it'd be great.
Not for them.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so I'm taking Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm taking Arkansas.
Florida at Georgia. Georgia's minus 22.5. 56.5 is over.
Georgia big. Florida's off. I haven't seen Florida's offense move the ball. The quarterback throwing the ball. He doesn't look bad throwing. It just, I don't know if the guys aren't catching it or he's throwing it too hard. He didn't have touch. I don't know what it is.
Oh, he misses wide open guys too.
That too.
I think that this is a game that sets up to potentially be disastrous for Florida, right?
Yeah.
You have a hard time on offense in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to compound that by playing probably the best defense in the country, right?
Yeah. And
so to me, this game is going to be a blowout.
That's the kind of game Georgia gets up for. Florida will get up for it too, but Georgia's really going to get up, and they're going to be like the Oregon game, I think, where they really put their foot on it, and it's done. And
the other thing that gets you is that, look, Georgia can score some points, and Florida really hadn't played defense very well. Yeah. So
they do have that huge guy in the middle.
Over under 56.5.
Probably leaning under, to be honest with you. Oof. That's my call.
Mizzou at South Carolina. South Carolina's -4, by the way. The respect that they've gotten now after beating A&M. -4. 46.5 is the over-under. Mizzou traveling to Columbia. So
I'd probably take South Carolina, but I'm not big on this game. I'm not big on that South Carolina team. They got up 17-0 over turnovers and a kickoff return for a touchdown.
You know what I'm thinking right now?
What?
Mostly after pretty much every loss we've taken this year, that team has then turned around to disappoint us some way. The team we lose to, right?
So you take Missouri?
So maybe I'm taking Missouri.
Yeah, I kind of like Missouri too. I don't like Missouri
with the
at all. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. 4 points? I don't know.
Just
I'll probably tease that, but go ahead.
Maybe tease. Kentucky, game of the week for the SEC. Kentucky at Tennessee, -12.5 for Tennessee, 62 over-under.
Oh, I think Kentucky keeps it closer than 12.5. I don't know if they're going to win, because I think it'll be a shootout. How much is the over-under?
62.
Yeah, I like the over.
That's what I like. Let's take the over.
Yeah, let's take the over. Let's put a G on that and go with it.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
Never doubt.
Never doubt.
All right, let's go around the country, man. Let's hit outside the SEC.
All right.
Virginia Tech is playing NC State. NC State's favored by 13.5. 39 is the over-under. What do you think?
Virginia Tech sucks. NC State lost their quarterback. I'm not touching this game.
Virginia Tech sucks.
I'm not touching that game.
Utah -7 in Washington State.
I like Utah.
Do you?
I do.
Oh, that's good.
Why, you Washington State guy?
No. Ohio State -15.5 at Penn State.
Ohio State all day.
All day. I don't know where Penn State keeps getting this respect.
Yeah, I don't either.
They got beat by I don't know how many by Michigan last week. I think Ohio State.
2 plays you said that Penn State scored on basically. A long run by the quarterback and a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, Ohio State all day. TCU -7.5 at West Virginia.
TCU.
What'd your dad say?
He said TCU.
TCU. I like TCU.
He also says the Bear's a dumbass. The Bear likes West Virginia to cover.
Over under 69, by the way.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Notre
Dame at Syracuse -2.5. Syracuse -2.5.
I'll tell you, I like that quarterback, what he did against Clemson last week. He moved the ball. They have a good running back. The defense didn't look that bad. Notre Dame has been disappointing all year. Syracuse favored by 2.5?
Yeah.
Where's the game at?
At Syracuse. I'm taking Syracuse. And
I guess, maybe Syracuse.
That's the way I would go.
Is that your pick of the week?
Pick of the week. Fuck. Oregon -17 at Cal.
I haven't seen Cal at all. I've seen Oregon. Oregon's been impressive the last couple of weeks. I'll probably take Oregon.
Oklahoma State at Kansas State.
Who'd you take? You didn't take anybody. Oregon or...
Yeah. Let's move on. Oklahoma State at Kansas State -1.5.
Oklahoma State at Kansas State?
Yeah. Kansas State's -1.5.
I don't know who the quarterback is for Kansas State. Last week they had that backup and they brought in their third string for a little bit.
Well,
is Martinez
got hurt, I think, at the beginning of the game.
Well, if he plays, Martinez plays, I'd like Kansas State. If he doesn't play, I'll take Oklahoma State. Make sense?
Oklahoma State. That's what I'm taking. I like it. Wake -3.5 at Louisville.
Wake.
Yeah, sounds good to me. How about this one?
What's the over on that Wake game? You had that on there?
64.
I kind of like that.
Which side of it?
I just like it.
Yeah. Illinois -7.5 at Nebraska.
God, Nebraska sucks. I can't get on board with the Illinois team. I have a hard time.
Hard.
Yeah, I mean.
And did you know Nebraska's technically still playing for a spot in the championship game? They're in the running. The Big
For what?
10 championship game.
Shut the fuck up.
Because the West side all sucks. But they got to win this week.
Shut up. I can't believe that shit.
Cincy at UCF minus 1.5. UCF minus 1.5.
Can you believe UCF is favored in this game? Didn't they just lose to somebody? East Carolina got their ass kicked? I just read about it. East Carolina beat them by 20.
Yeah, so you like Cincinnati.
No, probably UCF.
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
It's way college football.
USC minus 15.5 at Arizona. What do you think?
Is Arizona the dumpster fire or is it Arizona State?
Arizona State is the dumpster fire.
What's the over in this one? You got it?
76.5.
Wow! Whoa! What are they begging you to do? Take the under?
They're begging you to take the under.
Jesus. This is the kind of game my boy like, oh, they're begging me to take it. I'm going over. He loves the overs on the Pac-12, by the way. He's taking a few of them already and getting hit.
I'll take the under on this.
Maybe it was
6.5.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, USC, they just lost, didn't they?
Yes.
Did
But
who?
they had a bye.
Who did they lose to? Utah?
They lost to Utah.
Yeah, I think USC gets the shit right. I think they'll beat them.
Michigan State at Michigan. Normally a rivalry. Michigan's minus 23.
I'll take Michigan State. Because this game's always, I don't care how big the spread is, for some reason it comes down to a play or two at the end of the game.
Michigan.
Yeah, he's crazy. I'm taking Michigan State.
Your boys, Pitt at UNC, minus 3. UNC, your boys.
Hey, man, that quarterback is for real at UNC. I don't know if they'll cover. They've been real tight on other games, but a lot of
One
points.
loss UNC in the top
of points.
25.
A lot of points. I'll take UNC.
UNC, I'd take UNC as well. And last one, Stanford at UCLA, minus 16.5.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares? All right, questions from the tailgate brought to you by Carney's Pub and Grill. Good times, good drinks, good people.
Yep.
People.
Yep.
All right.
I'll be there.
What do the suspensions mean to this program? Marshall, Harris, Williams, by the way.
It's just the start of the inevitable. This is what we kind of figure. You start losing games. Kids start acting like kids. Jimbo has to be an authoritative figure and lay the law down. I mean, this is the beginning. This is what's going to happen.
Look, and I'm going to say this. I hope, I really do, I hope that Jimbo reins these guys in. Harris, Marshall, P.J. Williams, all three of those guys, good ball players, and I think ultimately good kids in general. But, you know, he's got to go in there and put his arm around him and say, hey, look.
Grow up.
We got to do this. We got to do this together. We got to do this the right way, right? And hopefully they stick around. I like Harris a lot. I think he's a star in the making.
I think it's going to be tough for them to stick around.
He's a star in the making.
I think he is.
He's going to go play for Dion over at Jackson State.
I doubt that, but I mean, I think that I think they're all really good ball players. I'm not sure about the lineman PJ, but I like Marshall. I was excited about him.
Big kid, good receiver. I mean, the guy's already making some plays, you know. And so I do.
You can't have distractions like that with what's going on right now. You have a bunch of young players. You do have to set a tone and say, hey, this is how it's going to be. We got a young team. This isn't going to be. We're not going to put up with this shit.
Here's what I like. And since then, a bunch of the other players have come out and put out some tweets and different things.
What do they say? I haven't seen
saying picking these guys up and saying, look, this program ain't falling apart. We're still together. This and that. You know, we're here to stay. Yeah. Things of that nature, right? Mm-hmm. Don't believe everything you're reading. All that, you know, but sticking together. And to me, I think that's the big part because two things can happen. And I know this is like, thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yeah.
But the team can either fall apart or it can come together, right?
Well, it looks like they're falling apart right as of right now. It looks like they're falling apart. Starting the South Carolina game. I mean, not even South Carolina. I'm talking App State game.
But the way they came out on social media, maybe that's a sign that they're trying to come together. Yep. And we'll find out, right? We'll find out.
Right.
Lots of rumors about transfers all of a sudden. All these folks on the social media and from Texas and everything else coming out.
It's going to happen. Some guys are going to transfer, and it's just life. Guys that aren't getting
rumor is LJ wasn't at practice this week. He's already.
I'm pretty sure he's gone.
He's already piecing out.
He's gone.
He says he's transferring. So, look, that is Jimbo's fault.
Yeah.
That is Jimbo's fault because here's what you've done now. You've taken this number one class, which apparently you made a lot of promises to. Yeah, we're going to get you playing time. That's how we're going to recruit you, yada, yada, yada. And now all of a sudden you've given the team to this freshman group. But those freshman guys are not ready to lead.
No.
They're not ready to lead. They don't know the culture and the things and the work ethic that it takes. They just got out of high school. Practice was easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All they did was show up on the field on Friday nights and went and whooped up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To build the culture and the team and the spirit, the fights, to have your guys learn how to practice, how to work. The older guys have to be involved, right? And you have to have a lot of them in there.
It was
work the freshmen in as you go along.
When Anias got hurt, it was a big loss. He was the leader of this team, and I mean he's still around saying things, but not being out there actually hitting people, and that's a huge loss for these freshmen.
Because here's my thing,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of upperclassmen that could be on the field.
Right.
Preston, for example. Darius Jones, another guy. So you've got a lot of guys that you could have and work those young guys in as you go. In a rotation. How about that?
And you're talking about the transfer. What's the defensive tackle's name that they're talking a lot
LJ
about?
Johnson was a 5-star running back that has not gotten more than 3 carries in a game since he's been here.
I didn't think he had any.
And my point is this.
I thought Moss beat him out.
You can distribute carries. You know what I mean? You can get different guys involved.
We only run the ball 10
and all of a sudden, who gets the carries?
Each running back
Moss,
got
the
one
freshman,
carry.
gets a carries ahead of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame LJ Johnson.
Yeah.
So
who's
LJ Johnson seems to be gone. Smoke or fire? We gonna lose a bunch of transfers?
Yeah. No, they were talking about Denlo. What's his name?
He's solid. He tweeted. He's part of the group that came back and said, "Hey, no, don't listen to that social media garbage. I'm solid. I'm an
I
actor."
don't know who else we're going to lose. I mean, probably Johnson, the tight end, if his brother goes somewhere. I don't know what's going to happen with those two. I'm not sure Haynes King. I have no idea. I think Haynes is an Aggie. I think he likes being here. I think he's in for the long run.
Look,
I mean,
there's going to be transfers. There's no.
But we're going to replace those guys with other transfers.
We didn't.
Exactly.
There's going to be transfers. Potentially, if every receiver on the roster is a potential transfer, by the way. Every single one.
Even Moose?
Maybe not Price because he's a coach's kid.
What about
Moose? Why did he start off on the bench this year? Maybe he sees it and says, "Hey,
something we didn't know about." Well, Preston's gone after this year. It's like his 10th year. He's got to go.
So
who else do you have coming back?
Well, obviously there's the freshmen.
Anywhere.
Thomas.
Keith won't go anywhere.
Keith?
He'll be back.
Not getting enough touches.
Oh.
I mean, every wide receiver.
Well, Marshall's pretty much gone. The way I see the writing on the wall with him. 2-strike-2. I mean,
they won't all leave, but everyone has got.
I think Stewart will be back. He's got a good freshman year. He's getting the ball. He's a
Smith and Garza at tight end, for example. Those guys,
they haven't been on the field at all.
They can't smell the field. Why wouldn't they go somewhere?
Smith played last year, didn't he? Some or who was it?
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit more than he played this year.
LJ and Daniels is running back.
What year is Max Wright?
He's a senior. He's gone.
Well, we got to. And Green will be back, hopefully.
LJ and Daniels. Why's Daniel going to stick around? He ain't getting no pub either.
Well, he's got to compete next year with Moss or whoever's going to be the starting running back. So, I mean.
There you go. Maybe he sticks.
I mean, we'll have.
King Johnson Stowers is gone for sure.
Oh, God. We saw him leave when practice. We should have. He wasn't even. No.
He's not even participating.
Yeah, I don't know.
They could all leave, though.
I'm excited to see what happens. I mean, it's going to suck. I'm going to see. I'm excited to see who stays.
Some of these guys are going to stay.
Yeah, some are going to stay, some are going to leave. We might get a transfer. Maybe we'll get some O-line transfers. And
on the O-line, P.J. Williams could leave.
Yeah.
Luke Williams could leave. Bankhead, why would Bankhead? Aggie could leave. Aggie keeps disappointing everybody. Who knows?
I'd go show him the door.
I don't think any of the linebackers are going anywhere.
We don't have any.
Yeah, we don't have any. Defensive lineman. How about Judy? Judy's not getting on the field much. Burris, Darius Jones, Jordan Johnson. Guys that are not
freshmen. You're saying a bunch of names that I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
Hey, Judy was a damn near 5-star recruit. Burris was a damn near 5-star recruit up front.
If you're a 5-star recruit, I think you need to go somewhere else if you're not getting the playing time here and now with this team.
And then Harris and Moten in the secondary, some options there that could transfer. I mean, Harris is looking like he's on his way out.
But we still have Bryce Anderson coming back, Chappelle coming back. Antonio's
still plenty of talent.
Antonio's going to be gone, right? He's going to NFL, so he can.
I think he'll be gone.
Richardson's gone.
A lot of folks consider him the best safety in the draft. So.
Yeah, Richardson's gone. White and Cooper. Cooper back next year?
Cooper's back, yeah.
White senior?
I think White's gone.
Okay. I think Lee and Russell, are they older guys too?
Now White may, I don't know, he
medical
coming back, but not since he came back. So
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think our future's bright. It's just the coaching needs to get on board.
They do. They need to figure out the offense and get that situation taken care of. Hire an offensive coordinator and keep these guys around. Yeah. Obviously, I think they can all stay. I think they won't all stay. I also don't think they'll all go. Right?
We're talking about next year already. Yeah. This is sad. We're halfway through the season.
Gig 'em. Woo! Peace out, Ags.
Adios.